Well, let's move on now because King Charles is expected to ring in the new year with a series of wholesome traditions. It's expected the 76-year-old will replicate previous celebrations and traditions adopted by the late monarch Queen Elizabeth II. Joining me now is royal biographer Angela Levin. Angela, Happy New Year. Good to see you. How are the royals ringing in the new year?
Pardon? What did you say?
I was just asking, how are the royals ringing in the new year?
Oh, they're ringing in the new year largely to follow what the late Queen Elizabeth did, because King Charles is wanting to keep her in everyone's life still. So one of the things that they did, which the late Queen adored, was charades. And the English charades are hilarious, really, because you have to think of what you're going to do, a book title or a film or a play, something like that. And you then said it's the first word or it's the third word. And then you have to do body movements to make sure that somebody is okay. So if you want to say something about crying, you do that. I cried, it's the second word. And then you go, and everybody has to guess what it is. And the first one who gets what it is, they take over and they do the next charade. It's fine for all ages. They don't try and make it for adults only. And then there's another one, which is a very unusual one. And it's about, they take a tub of sawdust and you drop into that all sorts of bits of paper, which you're saying is going to happen in the world, or certainly in the UK, in the next year. And you have to dig in the sawdust and pull out the piece of paper and say what it is, and then you can talk about it. I think it's a bit messy, that one, but there we are. And I do know that Prince George loves playing Monopoly. He's very good at it, and that's one of his favourite games. I'm sure they've now plopped that in.
Well, it's clear it's not all just for the young ones. The adults can enjoy a game of charades or two in the royal family as well. Now, I want to ask you about Prince William. He, of course, isn't Great Britain's king quite yet, but it really hasn't stopped him from stepping up when it comes to taking care of his family, especially with his wife and father's cancer diagnosis last year, Angela. But now he's really being described as the rock of the family, the rock of Britain.
I think he's absolutely the right thing to say about him. He's been absolutely amazing. You think about it, you're the heir to the throne, but the king and your wife are both suffering from cancer. You are a family man. He had a difficult childhood, so he wants to be a father non-stop as much as he can. And they take it in turns, he and Catherine, to take the children to school. He doesn't give it to somebody else, to just help out. And to do all those things and to look after them emotionally is very difficult, but actually physically and mentally it's actually almost impossible because there's so much work. Yet he remained dignified. He did whatever he could. He took over from his father, and he has been a very loving and supportive husband, and in every way he's done everything so good. I think we are incredibly lucky with him, and he's very accessible now. He used to be quite shy and a little more difficult, but now he's got confidence about himself and he recognizes what he wants to do, and we're very proud of him.
Oh, look, absolutely. You can tell he's really stepped up to the plate in what has been a really very difficult time for him and the rest of the royal family. Now, look, we've got to talk about Meghan and Harry. I know it's one of your favourite topics, Angela, but Omid Scobie's expose about the royal family derailed Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's plans to leave the firm behind and enter a new era. These are the latest claims. And as we know that this biography, Endgame, actually supported those two while criticising popular royals such as Princess Catherine. So, Angela, do you think that it did indeed backfire for Harry and Meghan?
Oh, it's very much so, because I think most countries and especially I think America, Australia, and the UK actually like the monarchy. And to have someone who attacks everybody in it, and some of the things weren't true at all. And I think that they could get it off their chest once, I think. When you go on and on and on about it, it's really unpleasant to complain about their lives when people are suffering quite hardly at the moment, but they have, you know, a house with 16 bathrooms, lots of money, go anywhere they like. I mean, it's there's no gratitude there. But the interesting thing is that he's doing a book called now Royal Spin, and he doesn't want to be associated with Meghan, which is very unusual. He said, it's so boring to keep calling her my friend. It is not true, which I think is, you know, very brave of him to do that. Meanwhile, Meghan is no longer interested in, so it's a mutual thing. But this new book, Royal Spin, he says it's nothing about her, but she feels anxious about what's going on. So the two of them are now no longer friends. But I think that he would never have written a book without their agreement on that. They read it all, they knew it all. Now they pretend they don't. But some of it was from the things from the Oprah Winfrey interview that they did in 2019 when they accused the royal family of being racist and all that, and also attacked Catherine. And you can't then say it was nothing to do with you, because it actually, everybody could see that. And it's, I think Meghan really doesn't ever like to take the responsibility if things go wrong. And I think that's what's been happening now.
No, well, and, you know, look, there's no surprises. There was a report out, Angela, that said that Harry and Meghan are like the most unpopular kids in school. They've lost their charm in America and they've lost their appeal among Americans. Who would have thought that they would get to that point? That's what happens when you publicly slam your own family through a series of interviews and books. People eventually do get sick of hearing the same old thing over and over again. Angela Levin, Happy New Year. Really great to speak with you this evening. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but lovely to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.